Susul. Hello and welcome to Under the Plumbob, the podcast about all things related to The Sims, the game we all can't stop playing, or you might stop playing, but like eventually go back to, because once you're in it, you kind of get obsessed. That's just how it works. I've heard a lot of people say it's like you're either on it and you're playing all the time, or you're ignoring it completely. I don't think there's a lot of in between. Anyway, I'm Roxy. And hopefully you know and love this game as much as we do, and that's why you're here. You may be used to hearing me on Team Llama, but I am here. I found, since we started doing the show, that I really enjoy following all the news items where The Sims comes up in media and, seeing what the gurus are posting. And, I may not catch everything, but it's still really fun to see everything unfolding and the excitement of new packs, should those come in the near future. I'm sure they will. So anyway, I'm here. I'm probably going to stick around Social Bunny for a while because it's kind of my jam. And I'm not here alone. I have a buddy.
Hi, it's Jessica.
I'm so glad you're here, Jessica.
Yay! I'm so glad you're here.
And we're keeping many more than 6 feet apart.
Yes. I've got my bubble.
Yep. We are being safe and advocating you do the same in these exciting times. We're going to keep it kind of low-key today. We're just here to fill in your ears with some, nice things that you don't have to worry about, this game that we all love. So we do know there's a new stuff pack coming out.
Yes. Quite exciting.
And that comes along with a lot of community-driven feedback, including voting on things that we see and want and then suddenly cannot have.
Mm-hmm. I know a lot of the stuff I voted for did not get into the final cut.
I have never been one to know what's trending or be on trend, so I'm not surprised that my stuff got cut too.
Mm-hmm.
I was really hoping for Happy Haunts, but that was not to be. Instead, we're knitting shit.
Yep.
Or something. But what about all those things that they showed us that we could have made or worn in the game that we can't? Well, Jessica has something to say about that.
Yes. There's a group of creators on Tumblr that have decided to make the scrapped items from the pack as custom content that you can download and put into your game, which I am really excited about.
Yeah, I mean, custom content for PC Sims players is huge. And, maybe someday in the future, our console friends will get to enjoy it as well. And it's just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We mentioned it briefly in another episode, but I definitely think it warrants mentioning here. The project's called Missed Opportunity, kind of straightforward. And if you go to that site run by a Tumblr symbler named Pepperoni Puffin, they will,
that name.
You'll be able to see what items have been created and which ones have been claimed and all that good stuff. This was such big news that PC Gamer actually wrote a piece on it about the fact that there were people modding this pack before it even came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty significant. And it's so really great. I mean, we say this all the time. It's really exciting to see the way players can interact with their games and mod them. And, it's just
really make it their own.
Yeah, it's it's really a great way to express yourself, and unexpected as far as 20 years ago, we never would have imagined, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exciting. And I wonder if Maxis is going to realize that they can't compete with some of our amazing creators. They're so talented.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll think this could be the end of community voting. I mean,
mm-hmm.
They'll be like, oh, maybe we shouldn't show them what we're going to make because we can't compete with what they come up with. It's better than what we come up with.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to see some collaborations maybe in the future.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing. I'm sure a lot of creators would love to get a paycheck from EA, but if nothing else, a collaboration and like bragging rights would be nice, I'm sure. And like a lot of them, maybe, they seem to have a good number of game changers out there. And hopefully that includes a lot of these talented modders.
Yes.
I would think it does. I would imagine. So yeah. Oh, and we've talked a lot about this project on our behind the scenes, wondering if this could result in a copyright claim. Was it Melissa? Damn. I take that back. I think it might have been Caitlin or Ava. But anyway, they were talking about, EA created the big concept art, so the Maxis created it, and so is it possible that this could become an issue if they decide to get a bee up their butt? But I don't think that would happen. I think that would be, unlikely. But, it was a concern that came up in our discussion.
I could see it as a possibility, but you never know.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it should be fine because people make branded items as custom content, and it doesn't seem to cause a problem. I like speculating. It's like, I'm going to speak about stuff that I don't know, and I probably don't even have the foggiest idea how these things really work, but I just have my opinions.
It's fun to speculate.
Exactly. It's fun to speculate. And like, you might have noticed it's been 20 years since The Sims came out.
I think that might be mentioned. That, yeah.
Yeah. I think that could have come up once or twice. Well, the articles about that keep rolling out as, we find them or media just catches up because, not all of them were aware of that it happened in early February. And so a piece came out from Vice by Gita Jackson, possibly Gita Jackson. I don't know. But she did an interview with Simguru Grant. So that was kind of interesting because he's been with the franchise for almost as long as the game's been out.
Yeah.
And the story around the interview was sort of that the game has evolved to reflect the way our lives work and the changes in our morals and in our like day-to-day lives. So like Sims 1 was very like Ozzy and Harriet 50s, you could have same-sex partners, but there were limitations, and like it was kind of set up to be more like a heteronormative suburban experience. And then they didn't have cell phones, of course, because it was 2000. And then as the game's gone on, newspapers used to be the way you got jobs, and they were delivered every day. And now in Sims 4, there's no newspapers, and everyone has a cell phone, and computers are like really they do so many different things, just like in our lives. We're so much more digital now.
Yeah, and your Sims can be identified as anything, pretty much.
Exactly, yeah. And that did come up in the article. Yeah, exactly. Much more inclusive than most other games. Even today, they're still sort of gendered, and it's just hard overcoming this because I'm sure there are a lot of like smart people that make games, but they just don't even think about the gender of the character that you're playing or like the options that are there. Because if you're not involved in that kind of social movement, you're not going to really think about it. So it's good that there's like raising awareness for it, especially in that community where like, back in the day we had Super Mario Brothers and you had to be Mario or Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh man. So it's much different now. One of the things Grant said in the interview was like, he says there are people who are still mad about not having newspapers in the game. And I'm like, who are these people? When was the last time anyone picked up a newspaper, let alone had one delivered to their house?
I know. Any of my games in Sims 3, I now immediately have to go and cancel the newspaper subscription because I don't have time for them to sit down and read the paper.
I always had to do that too because I would just like never be able to keep up with it, and there would be like all this trash.
Yeah. And the paper boy would get upset. Like, I'm not delivering any more to you.
Although, you were able to recycle the papers back in The Sims 3, and like there isn't really recycling in The Sims 4. Everything's just like trash, or you wash it in the dishwasher or the sink, or it just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever noticed when your Sims out, like if they get a plate because they're out somewhere and they get a plate, it just disappears when they're done with it?
It's just gone.
Like, that would be great. But they do also have like the composting trash can.
Yeah.
So I guess that's something.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting. Yeah, there's just a lot of changes if you think about it. And he talked about how they try so hard, like they have fashion experts on the development team or the art team, but they're developing things today that come out months from now, so they have to try to anticipate trends and cultural shifts so they can, allow for it in the coding and in the game itself. And it's like, that must be really hard.
Yeah, because sometimes I can see like fashion changes at the drop of a hat sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there'll always be a niche for those content creators that are like keeping up with those ever-changing trends, and people who want that in their game and are fortunate enough to be on PC, they can incorporate that in their games.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm like as trendy as a doorknob, so I don't know. I just know what I think looks acceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Not even necessarily good.
This is
just
what
like
I like.
I'm wearing clothing. Goal for today complete.
Yes.
Especially now that I'm working from home.
Mm-hmm. Sweats and a t-shirt? Yeah.
My husband made me change my socks.
Aw.
Yeah. I was like, I don't need to change my socks. I've been in the house for 2 days. Sorry, that's too much information.
I've been there.
So, did you play any of the My Sims games?
I did not.
Me either. So this is all sort of, I had to study up to learn about what this all meant, but there's a website, and this is interesting to me because this article came out on mypotatogames.com, and they seem to be more like geared toward Animal Crossing and like kind of cutesy games. So they probably would have really liked My Sims when it was out because it was more of like a cutesy version of The Sims. It was developed for Nintendo platforms like Game Boy and DS and stuff. Yeah. And you can see some funny videos of people playing it. Like, it was not a perfect game by any means, and it wasn't The Sims. It was just sort of inspired by The Sims.
Mm-hmm.
But it reminds me of, have you seen, what is it called? Like Tomodachi Life or something like that?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the name. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's trending on YouTube right now, at least on some channels. And my daughter has that game, and she likes it because you can have same-sex relationships and stuff. So it's sort of like Sims. Yeah, it's got some flexibility in there. It's not a bad game. But anyway, so My Sims is like this cutesy thing. You'll know some of the characters because they were, if you play The Sims 4, they were repurposed into those trophies that you can collect. So when you dig up capsules and you open them up and you get those little like character trophies, they're all based on My Sims characters.
Oh, nice.
So I had no idea about any of this. And I'm like, oh, wow, I'm learning so much. Yet not enough to sound like I know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so this site, My Potato Games, and it hasn't seen it confirmed anywhere else as far as like a rumor or fuel for a rumor, but they think the next expansion pack could be a farming pack.
Ooh.
And there's been a lot of speculation about that in general. I think because of the success of games like Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley, that's it.
Okay, outtake. Yeah, so because of the popularity of games like Stardew Valley, I think, and I don't know, like people are just really into agriculture at the moment. So anyway, SimGuru Ninja fueled this rumor by changing his Twitter icon, like use avatar, to a character from a My Sims farm-themed game. So this is a game that they had like thought about developing for Wii and Nintendo and DS, and they just decided not to for some reason.
Interesting.
And then Sim Guru Frost changed his avatar to King Roland, who's from a game they did release called My Sims Kingdom. So, I don't know. I don't know what this means. Like,
I don't know.
it could mean anything. It could mean nothing. It could mean we're
Yeah.
celebrating the anniversary of those games. I don't know.
We don't know, but
And like,
speculation is good.
yeah, I like the speculation aspect. I haven't seen anything from like the other Sims news sites really, but I haven't. I only looked at My Sims community just to see if they had anything to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they didn't feel like speculating on that. Although they're really into speculating about the new expansion pack. They're like, there's a new expansion pack coming out because they're hiring people to do the voices and stuff. So, you know, you can find that kind of news on that site pretty easily.
Yeah.
But it's not the real juicy stuff that we want to know, like what's going to be in the pack.
Yeah. Farming expansion would be really interesting.
I mean, I have to say that's how I play the game a lot of times if I just want to start from nothing, scratch. And it's like, I don't know, that's just relaxing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why people love Stardew Valley.
Yeah. Nice, calming.
But they did already make over the gardening system once, so it's like, how much more would they really do with it? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say. And then, so this is still people catching up with the anniversary stuff. Like, there's a Vice podcast that Sim Guru Lindsay was interviewed on about the Sims anniversary. So what about another milestone at the beginning of March? We had International Women's Day.
Yeah. And The Sims posted on Twitter, equal play since 2000. And they honored inspirational women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really cool video. So we have, in the game, we obviously have equality in pay and social interactions because there's no weighting built in based on gender. You know, there's some characters that are attracted to male or female Sims, but most of them pretty much are bi-neutral, as I would say. Like, it seems to be less of a orientation seems even more fluid in the newest version. And of course, it's more than just bi. It's like pan and whatever too.
Everyone's on equal footing.
Yeah, and it can be nice to have that because, you know, we're saturated with judgment and like people just making assumptions about the way you look or the way you act or the way you write every day. I think a lot of people thought they were saying that like Maxis had equal pay in the real world for their developers, and I don't think that was the intention of the video, and I don't know if that's true, although EA does rank very high as far as places to work.
Definitely nice if it was true.
And I think part of that's like, yeah, exactly. And like, I think most video game companies would be fun to work at. Of course, I'm not aware of all the drama that goes on with the games that, you know, Ava and everyone else plays. Like, I know there are other game studios out there that have made some mistakes, and I don't know if that's fun to work for or not. But it sounds like a fun thing. Like, oh, I make video games for a living. Who wouldn't love that? In general, like the Maxis team has really gotten into making these videos and like kind of promoting the flexibility of the content, especially in The Sims 4, being that it's like the current brand. So they started the Play with Life campaign last year, I think, and there were some videos about different people who play and how they play The Sims. And I don't know if they were all game changers or if it was just open to anyone. I remember there being some people that like were game changers and wanted to make, you know, be considered for those videos. But they were really strict about the age limit.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently you had to be like under 25.
Oh, really?
You probably had to be like 18 to 25 or something. So I know there was at least one game changer I was watching who was like, I'm 26, and they wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, no.
I was like, that's brutal.
Yeah.
But welcome to getting older.
It sucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it does kind of.
Yeah, in some aspects it does, yes.
Do you want to attempt the list of people who made videos? Like, they're all on one website. You can go watch them. And they're probably famous, but I don't know who anyone is because I'm old. I know the first one.
Yep. Vanessa Hudgens was one, and that's the one that we both know.
Yeah, well, I only sort of know her. I asked someone else who she was.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, I've probably seen her.
Yeah.
She was apparently in the High School Musical series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming, since there were like 3 of them. It came out like when I was no longer in high school and I didn't have children,
Yep.
so I didn't see it. And it's not really my jam. I do love the Disney like tween musicals, like Zombies and Descendants, but the High School Musical one just never appealed to me. So anyway, Vanessa Hudgens plays The Sims, and she made a video, so you can watch it. And I think they promoted this additionally by on your homepage when you logged in. There was like her sim, and you could go download her or something. But there were a couple other people who did videos in this round of promotion.
Yep, there's Joe Sugg.
Joe Shug? Who knows?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Sorry, Joe.
He's probably famous, and you're yelling at us right now.
Adam Z.
Yeah, we're not going to try to say that last name.
Melina Sophie and Bilal Hassani. And I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong.
That sounds right. I mean, I don't know who they are. I'm sure they're great people. And while you're home during the pandemic, give their videos a watch. Then you can see what they're about. Yeah. I'll try to do that too. There's just so much. But we want to let you know they're there.
Yeah.
And then, have you ever done any of those like online meme generators? Or
I've done a few. I know the Sims.
Memes are fun.
Yeah, memes are fun. And I know the Sims has one up right now. I'm flipping over to my other page where I currently have somebody dressed as a hamster, cuddling a hamster.
So yeah, we'll post this link and you can generate memes on the Sims website. They give you the pictures and the captions. I don't know if you can write your own captions or not, but you could download the picture and then add a caption. Whatever.
It's a whole list of captions, so.
Exactly. It's got a lot of options. Yeah. I started playing with it and then I was like, I got to get off this page or I'll never get this episode recorded. And there's a contest to win game codes if you share your meme on social media. I think it's on like their message board and on Twitter, and I don't know. But I looked and I couldn't find any expiration date for the contest, so I don't know. Maybe it's just like anytime you make them laugh, they'll give you a code. We don't know. We tried to find
out. Go ahead and try. If not, you're making some Sims memes. That's pretty cool. And I would love to see all of them.
I had some console news that the tweets from early February.
Ooh.
And I don't know if it's still true. And it's obviously, we could have included it in the last episode, but I don't think I found it until after we recorded. But SimGuru Legacy, who does work on console, they want to bring My First Pet stuff to console.
Interesting.
In this year. And I think that would be great because I'm personally a fan of that pack. I know I get that it's like frustrating that you have to have cats and dogs to get the full use of it. But it also like added some interesting gameplay elements.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm talking about Rabid Rodent Fever and the small pets. I mean, I had mice when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So and hedgehogs are really popular as pets right now. And you can have a fantasy pet, the like Babaloo, which isn't a real animal, but it's cute.
All the cute little animals.
Yeah. And like kids can raise their responsibility by taking care of their pets. It's cute. It's fun. But Rabid Rodent Fever is pretty disturbing.
Yeah.
I played it out. I played that out like almost to its full extent, like killing off many Sims when I was doing my cemetery challenge. And it's not pretty.
Oh no.
And just today I was talking to our Patreon group and they said that the trailer for My First Pets got taken down from the Sims YouTube. And I'm not sure why. It's like, maybe because they're preparing to get it on console, maybe because someone complained about the inappropriate awkwardness of having a infectious disease in a video game.
Yeah.
But there's so many. Yeah, go ahead.
While there's a pandemic sweeping the world right now.
Yeah, and it could even have possibly been like, if there's any tags or mention of that in the posting, the trailer, like when they posted it. I've also heard rumors that YouTube's taking down stuff related to the pandemic or coronavirus. But like, maybe they're trying to crack down on people posting that aren't like official news sources. But it's unconfirmed, Yeah. It's just like, I heard Lauren Z-Side making a side comment about, oh, I can't say that, I'll get demonetized. And then like another podcast that posts their stuff on YouTube was really upset because their last episode got taken down and they weren't given a reason. And I'm like, well, maybe they are just trying to take down anything to do with the coronavirus that isn't official because they're too lazy to check and see if it's good information or not.
Yeah. I could see that.
So who knows? There's so many reasons they could have taken this down. It's kind of an interesting little developing story that no one cares about, but it's still interesting to me because I like that pack. I considered starting a Plague. I just feel like the timing's not right.
Yeah.
It's not a great time.
No, we'll give it a year.
Although I have been wanting to watch my zombie movies.
Oh yeah.
And the movie Outbreak was trending as like number 7 in the United States on Netflix.
Oh wow.
So I guess I'm not alone in my morbidity.
There are others out there.
Yep. I'm not alone. Yay. There's lots of weirdos and different flavors of weirdos, which makes our community great. Yes. So do you want to share the advice, the shout out / recommendation we got on Twitter?
Sure. So on the Mary Sue episode, Marissa talked about upgrading items. And she was talking about Little Miss Sam's mod that automatically upgrades items when they become focused. But Candy, at Candy Little Lights, tweeted that before that mod, she had to click around every single item around the lot to see what was available for upgrade. And now she just has them drink black tea, and boom, they go around upgrading things on their own.
Yeah, so apparently, Little Miss Sam, she's prolific. She has a lot of different mods, and they're like she's made a lot of like small tweaks, mods that kind of tweak gameplay. So I guess they're called tuner mods. And this is really interesting. So like, if they get the focused mood, they just go around upgrading things because it makes them happy, I guess.
Yes.
That's cool. So like, you can get upgraded stuff without even having to click on everything.
Nice.
If only there was a way to make them fertilize things. There probably is. Somebody probably modded
There's
that
probably
too.
a mod for that, yeah. It's like the old smartphone commercials. There's an app for that. There's a mod for that.
I know, right? I kind of love that saying. So y'all remember the hot tub?
Oh, yeah.
That we got for free that everyone complained about because they were like, it's so ugly. Well, it turns out there's actually 12 swatches for it. So you're not locked into like the really over the top Plumbob ones. They have a few like more toned down swatches.
That's good.
Yeah. And if you're a modder, that's kind of a correction to our last episode that I wanted to put in but couldn't get a clean recording of because I'm not that techie. But I try. And they did see somebody on Tumblr probably who posted a version of the hot tub that didn't have the little like arches, so it's just like a tub like the one you got. Yeah, like the one you got in the pack, the stuff pack, the perfect patio stuff.
Nice.
Which is probably why they didn't do that, because they didn't want to copy it too closely. They wanted to give you a little extra, a different thing that's maybe not as versatile, but was free, so stop complaining.
Yeah. This was the 20th anniversary one. We gave it to you as a gift. Now be quiet.
Yeah. So, what's coming up next?
Next is Team Llama talking all about Strangetown in The Sims 2.
Ooh, I know that a lot of people are looking forward to reminiscing about that.
Yeah. It's exciting.
And I find that like those episodes are fun to research because you get a lot of like twisted, topsy-turvy backstories. I love a good tangled family tree.
Oh yes, I actually love seeing how the townies all connect to each other.
Yeah, that's definitely fun. Segue. This is why I don't record at night.
And now for something completely different.
Time for our shout out, our episode shout out. Yeah, this one's from Just 1992 on Apple Podcasts. So she says, presumably they say, wish they were my friends, 5 stars. I truly wish these ladies were my best friends in real life. They are so fun and entertaining to listen to. I started listening in August when I had to commute almost an hour to and from work. Now I only have a 10-minute drive. I'm completely caught up to the latest episode, which makes me happy, but yet devastated because I have to wait a whole week for another episode. I've pretty much played Sims my whole adolescent life. I only had a few friends who also played and never nerded out as much as me. Relatable. If I knew these girls in real life, I know they would be my best friends. Best friends ever. P.S. I totally think Ava is my soul sister. I totally love her spunk and sass. I can relate to everything she complains about in regard to PAX and regarding PAX and EA in general. Love you, girl. We love Ava too. She's pretty awesome. I think she's on that episode. I believe the Strangetown episode. And it was like, well, you're editing it, you know.
I know.
It's Ava and Caitlin, so that's going to be an awesome pair.
Yeah, it's really fun. Well, thanks for the review, Jess.
Yeah, I'm excited that like there are podcasts like that for me where I'm like, oh, the highlight of my Monday is A Paranormal Chicks is coming out with a new episode. But it's kind of cool to think other people feel that way about Wednesdays in our podcast.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah, like especially, you know, right now we want to bring some joy and lightness to your life and maybe inspire you to pick up the game if you have nothing else to do, in case that might happen to some of you. Especially you poor kids with nothing to do because your teachers weren't prepared for a shutdown.
Yeah.
I can relate. I have a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old. They did great, but it's day one, so pray for us.
Thoughts and prayers.
I have to keep reminding myself, it's only day one.
This isn't so bad. 2 weeks later.
You'll be hearing on this on day 3, so check to see if I'm alive.
How's Roxy?
So where can they find us and give me a shout out to see if I'm alive?
Yeah. Okay, if you want to get in touch with us, we are all over social media. You can find us at Plumbobcast on Instagram and Twitter. We are Plumbob Podcast on Reddit. We are Under the Plumbob Podcast on Facebook and Tumblr. Our website is undertheplumbob.com, where you can write a little contact form asking how Roxy is, or you can email us asking how she's doing at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com. We are also on Twitch and YouTube. We provide video content under the Plumbob Podcast. Just search that up. Our podcast episodes will start to appear on YouTube. Actually, they are appearing on YouTube on Mondays.
Yeah, I guess I have to explain that better. Marissa did a really good job covering me on this last time she recorded, but so I'm taking like all our episodes from the beginning and I'm putting them on YouTube to listen to mainly, like, because some people I know just like to listen to YouTube while they do things, like especially my daughter.
Yeah, my brother does that
like,
too.
Maybe can I get her to listen if I put them on here? And I was like, well, I need a video to go with this, and it can't be too labor intensive. So I took my 100 Babies challenge that I'm started in 2020, and like that plays in the background while you watch or listen to the episode. And I'm also going back and like improving the old episodes just a little bit. Like I can't do a lot, but I can like fix the outro so it's our current outro, and do a little like spiffing up of the editing if I can, but not too much, just enough to make it slightly better.
Yeah.
Worth listening to again.
Yeah.
And like I just posted the 100 Babies episode, so it's kind of funny. It's like posting the episode that goes with the challenge that I'm playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. It's mainly just so you can like listen to the episodes no matter where you are, or like what platform you're using. You can even listen on YouTube. It's just going to be behind. It's like we catch up.
Nice.
So we're up to like episode 8 plus 3 episodes of Social Bunny.
That's pretty cool. So check that out on YouTube.
Thank you. We also have a Simizen, who's our that's our name for our Patreon contributors, and his name's Dom. He's Nerdy Dude 24/7 on Twitter, and he offered to write weekly posts on Tumblr about playing The Sims on console, because we were lacking a console expert. Like some of us played in the past, but nobody currently plays on console. So it's really nice to have his perspective because he's a longtime console player.
Yeah.
So check it out. It's under the console on Tumblr.
And you can subscribe, rate, and review us anywhere you get podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Google Play, Pandora, so many of them. Check us out.
Yeah. And there's probably some that can find us just because we exist, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of podcatchers do that. Like they kind of just feed off of Apple's feed.
Yeah. I used to have an app where I could listen to all sorts of podcasts at once, and it wasn't any of these, but it caught all of them and put them on there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Like Roxy mentioned, we have Patreon. Follow our page. Check out all the options that you can contribute to. Everybody who contributes gets an invitation to our private Discord channel. So you too can be a fancy bitch and talk to us.
Fancy bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very active on Discord. There's quite a few of us, especially me. I'm kind of addicted to Discord. I'm like, I want all my Facebook stuff to come over to Discord because I hate Facebook.
Discord is fun.
Yeah.
We also have merch.
I drank tea out of my mug for this episode.
Yeah. I've had my mug in as I'm working on the podcast all over the place.
I saw that. You posted on social media. Very nice.
Thank you. If you want some merch like our beautiful mugs or shirts or water bottles or whatever, the link will be in the description, or you can find it at our website, undertheplumbob.com.
And thanks as always to all the wonderful Sims fan sites out there where we get a lot of research and news and just find ways to connect with the community. So there's Sims Community, Sims VIP, Carl's Sims 4 Guide. I think he changed that name of that. Is that right now? I'm talking too much. This is why I don't record at night. The Sims Wiki, Simmers Digest, which is another awesome podcast you can check out if you're all caught up on our episodes. You can go listen to theirs. And Iron Seagull on YouTube. I just like the way he covers news. And last but not least, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for taking time out of whatever's going on in your life to share in our fandom and support us. We have to go back to the real world, and I'm kind of scared.
Me too.
But that's why they made tea. Tea will get us through. Or coffee, or whatever saves your sanity. Speaking of saving, if you're playing right now while you listen, don't forget to save.
Yes. Make sure you do that. You do not want to lose any progress you've made. I've been there.
It's a real bummer. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've lost a garage that I really was proud of.
Oh, no. Yeah, it's like losing after you've been building or creating a sim is almost worse than anything else. Like, gameplay you can kind of recover.
Yeah.
But not really. Just save. Mm-hmm. It's just save the heartbreak.
Save early, save often.
Yeah. All right. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Badish. Dag dag.